On my right, fighting out of the blue corner, he's from Borough, representing Flex MMA and making his debut here tonight. Weighs 76.8 kilos. Put your hands together for Tony Armstrong. And his opponent on my left, fighting out of the red corner. He's from Room Corner, representing Relentless MMA, and is also making his debut here tonight. Weighs 75 kilos. Put your hands together for Mr. Sean Cole. Your referee is Neil Hall.
Out of the red corner, Sean Cook, a young man who's been training less than 12 months, Dean, making his debut tonight against Tony Armstrong, another young man in the blue corner making his debut with a huge roar of support behind both men. It's Sean Cook looking for the double right after the bell.
Using that very powerful frame there to drive his opponent in Armstrong to the cage. Relentlessly working for this single leg here. He might switch to a double, Chris. Comes out and strikes beautifully. Armstrong's got power in those punches, though.
And a beautiful disconnect from Armstrong and right into those flurries. That's just an example of a young man who's been training under excellent guys like Andy Clamp, our main event fighter, Dean Crimp at Relentless MMA. Clearly the tutelage has paid off.
Cook landing some nice left hooks there. Armstrong putting the work on those legs. Look to see if he goes high.
And a few nice outside round kicks have landed for Armstrong, but it's the alternating hooks of Sean Cook, which have been the poison of choice.
I really like the way Sean Cook throws his punches, gets out of danger. When he senses the takedowns there, he initiates the clinch. Really good MMA cage craft from Sean Cook.
And a lot of the hype and running up to this fight, so many were talking about what this guy is going to be able to show off. But it's Armstrong who's backing him up against the ring, the two standing toe-to-toe.
Oh, Armstrong putting a big knee there. He sensed it might have hurt Cook. He's going, it's followed up with the left body kick. Initiating that clinch, big uppercut there by Armstrong.
And Armstrong really putting him through the paces, finishing with the right kick to the body.
Oh, big right hand there by Cook. He's got power in that hand. Plants his feet lovely there. Just comes over the top. Not a traditional right hand there, Chris. Just comes at a funny angle.
Both men with excellent placement thus far, and the type of fight, Dean, that could change on a moment's notice.
The talent is evident in these two fighters here. Armstrong working that plum grip. Nice knee there on the inside.
Huge right hook for Sean Cook. One more time, but an outside trip possible for the man from the red corner. And the Relentless MMA fighter clasps his hands and puts his man all the way to the canvas.
Sean Cook looking to creep up to mount there. Armstrong senses it and gets his leg in the way. Just buying him a bit of time there, but he can't sit here and let Cook mount him up against the cage like this. He needs to start cage walking up, moving those hips up.
And Tony Armstrong controlling with a very deep left underhook, some good hand fighting and positional awareness from both men. Neil Hall wants action though, Dean. A fighter must always work to improve their position, but with 10 seconds on the clock, I think we may be seeing the end of the round.
Big punches, big power from Sean Cook, toe-to-toe to the end of the round, Chris.
Man, and the crowd quite literally in the VIP section on their feet, Dean. You can feel the pain here, and there's no doubt in my mind that both of these two have a chin of granite.
Cook there in his corner receiving advice from the renowned Tom Blackledge there.
On the flip side though, you've got to ask yourself, is one of these two going to run out of gas given what's transpired in the previous round, Dean? There was some incredible back and forth action, particularly to and from the clinch as you highlighted.
Cook is able to dictate what he does. He's very versatile in his MMA, Chris. When it's a striking game, he strikes. When it's a clinch game, he initiates it. And I think Cook might be able to edge out the conditioning side a bit better, using more technique here.
But you can't question the heart, grit, and determination of Armstrong. He came back and cracked him with some great shots, particularly the right kick to the body, Dean. What does he need to do to keep it on the outside in this next round?
Armstrong really needs to stop these punches getting through. Pull his arms up. Use the crazy monkey blocks where you comb your hair and bring your elbow up to block the side of your face, and then throw some counter shots after that.
Well, which of these two will prevail? It's round 2. Mr. Neil Hall, the third man in the ring. And we are back at it here in ice.
Armstrong comes out there, hands nice and high. Can't let him drop against Cook with power in both hands.
Double jab to the right cross. Finishing with the right round kick very nicely just a few times. Armstrong again to the thigh.
Cook there circling off nicely. Looking for his way in, filling out with the jab. I like how Cook gauges the distance, you see that? Armstrong came back with a counter, and Cook just simply wasn't there.
Cook continues to pump the jab here. Nice head movement. Almost rolling underneath the right hook of Armstrong. Again, Cook, as you said, Dean, looks to be able to possibly look for the counter.
Cook is really firing off here at will. Wobbles Armstrong there. Armstrong seems a bit frustrated. Puts in a big leg kick there to try and take some of that power out those punches from Cook.
And trying to chop away at the base is Armstrong, but walking into the punches, certainly not a good tactic here.
Armstrong can't stand in front of Cook like this. A man with such great power as Cook. He really needs to start circling off. Armstrong there, standing in front of his opponent.
And the pace is slowed just a little bit, Dean. But still a toe-to-toe affair. Both fighters standing very flat-footed in the pocket, fighting fire with fire.
Clearly very knowledgeable fighters, understanding their body. Trying to take some of the cardio pressure off here by just slowing the pace that little bit. Wonder if Cook's going to look to take this to the ground as he has success in the first round, Chris.
Stiff right cross for Cook. Sean Cook circles to his right. Some tidy boxing combinations, but it's again the leg kick returned, and there we go. As predicted, the shot from Sean Cook.
Sean Cook here, some nice downward pressure, creeping up to that mount again, up against the cage. Opts to step off and rain down some shots, back in with the single.
And the entrances and exits as he unloads on his opponent, I think have been very mesmerizing here. It's incredible to see a guy who's been training for less than a calendar year, Dean, to pull that off in the ring.
Sean Cook very tight against his opponent in Armstrong. Great wrestling for MMA there. Looking round into his corner there, shouting, telling him take the single leg, and he does quite rightly. Unable to get it to the takedown at this point. Armstrong putting some pressure there on Sean Cook's head, stuffing his head, some nice body shots. Cook opts to get back to the stand-up fight. Beautiful leg kick there. I think that hurt Cook. Armstrong's really blasting those leg kicks in. Oh, he went high.
Huge head kick attempt. Nearly caught the hands low. Cook has checked that last one to the leg, Dean, but that was the first leg kick he's checked in this fight. Nothing short of incredible. Both fighters with a full arsenal, Dean. What a breathtaking fight. Possibly the fight of the night thus far, particularly with the exchanges in the middle of the middle of space in that round.
Very versatile fighters for such a short amount of time. They've been training. They're not flustered at all. They almost evolve in front of us, Chris. Armstrong coming out with those leg kicks, really taking some of that power up the lead leg of Cook. Cook equally going in for those takedowns, but he knows when to disengage so he doesn't tire himself out. Brilliant stuff from these two fighters.
Is the key tactic going to be for Cook to avoid those leg kicks, Dean, and cut down the ring and work the angles? Because we can see the reach advantage and perhaps the kicking advantage that Armstrong has exhibited in that last round.
Cook started to check the kicks at the end of that round. Let's hopefully he's kept that in his mind to check those kicks and come back with a counter, make Armstrong pay for coming in.
One more round as the cage door closes. Chris Hoekstra calling it here with Dean Midhat, and another right kick.
Armstrong coming up those really big kicks again, really hammering away. Oh my goodness, look at the welts on Cook's leg. Oh my goodness, that has certainly taken some of the spring out of Cook's front leg there. You see him almost trying to switch. I love the way Armstrong goes low and goes high, so Cook never knows where that kick's going to be placed. It really takes Cook out of his game. It's showing that fight. I think he was rocked there, Chris. Armstrong caught Cook with that nice punch and now on the knee on the inside here on the clinch. He's got double underhooks.
And a warning for grabbing the shorts there from Neil Hall. Cook disengages. Left hook for Cook.
Cook looking down to his corner. Oh, back with the leg kick there. Oh, return from Armstrong. A battle of legs here in the ice. Hey, and again, going for the rear leg there.
And Cook's leg redder than a tomato, Dean, but Armstrong charges on. Cook, mouth wide open. Armstrong, a look of intent. Huge right cross.
Cook looking to his corner again. Really needs to start checking those kicks. He can't stay. Oh, nice. Like the way he timed that. But Armstrong with some really good takedown fronts, sprawled his hips nicely, and using that whizzer there on his right arm, Chris.
And you can see how Cook was maneuvering around that, closed in, gets those hands together for the golden ticket and takes him down.
Cook nicely using these takedowns to rack up points. If it goes to a judge's decision thus far, these two fighters have been trading off on the feet and the hands. Beautiful leg kicks at present. Cook is on the top. Seems to be looking for the mount here. See Armstrong blocking that mount there. Gets his leg in nicely. Look for Armstrong to retain the guard.
Armstrong maneuvering, looking for some head and arm control. Neil Hall looking for action. And Armstrong maybe going to look to lock in that Kimura, Dean, to open up this position.
Could secure that arm there, but he really needs to retain the guard before he secures the arm, because he's in danger of Cook passing around there to his right side. As you see Cook here using some lovely downward pressure.
And Armstrong certainly did not want to relinquish this position, particularly in such a close fight now.
Like to see Cook try and get his left arm out there and rain down some punches, certainly for the points and to show the referee that he's really active in that position. Nice and dominant on top. He really needs to start putting some decisive punches down.
And Cook continues to operate with some nice shoulder pressure. 10 seconds on the clock, Dean.
These two fighters are battling it out here. Sean Cook opts to let his man stand up on the basis he could try and get some heavy shots there at the end of the round. Wow.
And the crowd are on their feet here at ICE International Combat Elite Fighting Championship. The bar has been raised, Dean. Both men clearly having expended a ton of energy have put it on the line in what has been an absolute war, bell to bell.
Both athletes showing their versatile decisively, trying to win in their own right. Armstrong with those beautiful leg kicks, and I love the way he went up high. Cook with a relentless power and using the takedown and dominant top control.
Well, did Cook do enough to steal it, or did Armstrong do enough damage in round 2 and 3 on the feet? We're going to take it over to our master of ceremonies, and we'll get the official announcement after 2 very strong performances from Cook and Armstrong.
So there will be one winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the red corner, Sean Cook. Yes,